The SSC CGL Tier 1 answer keys are out, and Oliveboard had released a rank predictor tool for all of you on the same day, right? And today I have come here to let you know that we have received tremendous response from all of you students. I'll tell you in the middle of the session how many students participated in that rank predictor app, and that has led to a compilation of exact and accurate data for all of us, right? So I'll take you through this session right away. Stay with me till the end of the session and make sure you like the session and share it across platforms so that others can also understand the value of this data analysis which we are going to do right now. We are going to analyze all the 46 shifts of SSC in detail, in thorough detail. Okay, let's start. So what all will you be able to understand from this session is, number one, we'll be able to see the shift wise average score. Okay, then the 90 percentile score. We will also provide with, to you the 99 percentile score. So that will give you a better analysis as to what is the difference between a 90 percentiler and a 99 percentiler, right? Then we will also look at the median score. So simultaneously you will be able to understand what is the shift wise average score and what is the median score. So better the measure of central tendency, the more understanding output will you get. You will be able to analyze top 5 easiest and difficult shifts in SSC CGL Tier 1. We will be able to see section wise difficult shifts. So even subject wise we'll be able to understand which shift is actually easy, which shift is actually difficult as far as the subject is concerned. For example, if I talk to you about, let's say, English, so I can tell you that in English this particular shift was pretty easy, an easier shift, so more students have scored here, but this particular shift was probably difficult for English for this particular subject only, right? So subject wise, section wise difficult and easy shifts you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to see number of perfect scorers. How many students have actually secured a perfect score? 200 on 200, right? So you'll have to stay with me till the end to know that. It's a wonderful secret for all of you. But remember, this analysis is completely based on the data which we have received from the students, right? And the students have shared the links with us. So this data is absolutely accurate as far as the number of students are participating based on that. Okay. So I will reveal right now how many students have participated. 46 shifts have been analyzed and 82,706 students. 82706, that's the volume, that's the number of students who have participated in this rank predictor app here, the rank predictor tool, and that will now help to make this data as accurate as possible. Okay, the easiest section was calculated, found to be general intelligence and reasoning. I think we don't have any doubts about that. That was pretty much the unanimous voice everywhere. And the most difficult section came out to be general awareness. Now, my 2 cents here, general awareness definitely was difficult, but I think general awareness, every student finds it difficult every year, no matter what the competitive exam is, because of the vastness of the subject. But if I talk about the underdog, this particular year, the English language section was actually slightly difficult as compared to the previous years because of the kind of questions, because of the novelty which was associated with the type of questions which were being asked. And that is why the English section throughout all the sections did perform slightly well in terms of numbers, in terms of difficulty levels. So I think English should be coming here. Otherwise, reasoning and quant maintained their levels whatsoever, right? Now, let's look at the shift-wise report in detail. So, all the shifts have been listed here. I'll first give you a key, what all you have to read, what all you have to understand. Point number 1, these are the dates when the shifts were conducted. These are the shifts number. For example, 12 September shift 1, 12 September shift 2, 12 September shift 3. These are the 99 percentile scores. That means, if a person has scored this much, then the person is at 99 percentile. That means, 99% of students in this particular shift have scored below 152. That is what you have to read. That is how you have to read. Okay. Then 90 percentile. 90 percentile implies 137. So this is the threshold score for 90 percentile. That means 90% of the students sitting in this shift have scored below 137. Clear? Next, median score. Median score is 107. Now, what is the difference between median and average? Hopefully, I am expecting all of you to know already, because those who are watching this session, majorly you are preparing for Tier 2, or at least you are getting to know whether you need to prepare or not. So this much I expect from you, but still I'll just give you a brief idea. The median score and average score, this gives you a better measure of central tendency. Why? Because the median is actually telling you what is the exact middle value of this whole data. That means for this particular shift, the median score was 107. That means as many students scored before more than 107 as they scored below 107, right? So this is exactly in the middle. Average score is something different. Okay, average score is the total sum divided by number of students of the shift, 103.3. now this dot here signifies a difficulty level, a red dot signifies a difficult shift, a yellow dot signifies a moderate shift, and a green dot signifies an easy shift. Okay, what is the criteria again? We have fixated the criteria on the median score. Some channels have also done it on the average score. I did that, but I think median score is a better understanding, is a better parameter for you to understand what was the difficulty level. Remember, my another extra input here is that these are subject to data availability only. I'm not saying that this shift was actually very difficult. It is merely based on how much data we have. Maybe the other, you know, there is a lot of more data available outside which is not with us right now, but that additionally can predict or make this shift to be slightly easier. But this trend more or less follows what is going around. Okay, so let's move ahead. So 12 September 2025 shift 1, 152, 99 percentile score is 152. That means 99% of the students scored below 152 marks. 90% of the students scored below 137 marks. Median score was 107. Okay, 107 was the median score, 103.3 was the average score. It was a difficult shift. Okay, moving forward, slightly moving forward, 107, 107.5, 101. This is probably one of the most difficult shifts. 12 September shift 3, 146 is the 99 percentile score, 129 is the 90 percentile score, 101 is the median score, 97.6 is the average score. Constantly you can see difficult shifts here. We have one moderate shift here, 105.6. So I believe anything up to 105 average score or median score up to 110 is probably a difficult shift. Anything above 110 to 115 probably is a moderate shift, and anything above 115 as a median score or probably around that or a plus that in an average score probably is an easier shift. So let's see, we'll just keep scrolling. 106.5, 110, 107, 114, 110, 113. So far the range is that only. 101.5. Okay, 108.5, 5, 7.5, 115, 117, 16, 4, 17. So this will keep progressing. 120. Okay, now this is probably a very easy shift. 120 is the median score. 19 September 2025 shift 3, 159 is the 99 percentile score. Okay, 99 percentile, here is 152, here is 159. Look at the difference. 144.5 is a 90 percentile score. Okay, this is 137. 137, 144.5. So 90% of the students have scored below 144. Here it is below 137. Look at the difference. Okay. 113, 107.7, 120, 113.9. This is also a very easy shift. 159, 148. Cool. Now, we'll continue this here. Again, you can see the median scores 115, 123, 113, 113, 121, 117, 115, 122. So far, this is the highest right now. 118, 100. Okay, right. Now, we'll talk about the shift which is the most anticipated among students. 14th October. Okay, a lot of students, when I had also brought videos in the past, a lot of students had commented that the 14th October shift was problematic. It was purposefully made to be difficult than other shifts, and purposefully very high performing students were put in that shift. I'm just reiterating what the students have claimed, and at that time also I told you that I believe you, but we'll have to sit and discuss about this and then see what can be done in the further course of action. But data says otherwise. Of course, data is subject to a lot of other parameters as well. A lot of you are claiming that purposefully extremely intelligent students who had very good exams in the past, who had no problems whatsoever with anything pertaining to the center, any logistics whatsoever, were made to sit for the 14th October re-examination. That is what is making the score punch high, and that is bringing an illusion that the 14th October exam was pretty easy. Maybe that is true, but as far as of now it is concerned, is that I am just displaying the data in front of you. 14th October shift 2, 159 is the 99 percentile score, 147 is the 90 percentile score, 130.5 is the median score. This is the highest median score, okay, and 129.5 is the mean score, the average score, highest average score again. So this makes the 14th October shift as the most easiest shift. There are students who are telling me that this data is wrong. I don't know. This data is extremely as close to original as possible, and this is accurately pulled up from students itself. It is not haywire, right? But anyways, keeping the sentiments alive, I will just continue this from here. So this is the key which I have already told you about. The red dot signifies a difficult shift, the yellow dot signifies a moderate shift, the green dot signifies an easy shift, and median score implies 50 percentile. That means 50% students are above this score mark and exactly 50% are below this score mark, right? So that gives you a fair and a better understanding, a better idea. Now, moving forward, we are looking at the top 5 easiest and most difficult shifts. So we will focus on top 5 easiest shifts here. Top 5 easiest shifts. 14th October 2025 shift 2 is the easiest one with a median score of 130.5, and now we will go with the decreasing order of easiness. Okay, so 26 September 2025 shift 3 is 125, the next easy shift. 21 September 2025 shift 1, 123. 23rd September 2025 shift 2, 122.5, and 22nd September 2025 shift 1, 121.5. These shifts are quite close, and these scores are also quite close to each other. There's not a lot of gap. 1 mark, 0.5 mark, 2 marks, that's it. But here there's a gap of 5.5 marks, so this gap is quite large. Otherwise, majorly the gap is also very less among easy shifts also. And if we talk about difficult shifts, the most difficult being the one on the top, 12th September 2025 shift 3, the shift we spoke about, 101 is the median score. Look at the difference, 130, 101 means majority of the students. So this is exact middle score, 130. This is the exact middle score, 101. Easiest shift versus difficult shift, almost a gap of 29.5 marks. Am I right? So that is the kind of shift we are looking at. Okay. Then 15 September shift 3, 101.5, 18 September shift 3, 102, 18 September shift 1, 104, 20 September shift 1, 105. So I think initially they were moderate or difficult shifts, and gradually they started shifting towards the easiest shifts. Now this can also attribute to the fact that a lot of students initially, they face the exams, you know, they are like sitting for the first time, they are the beginners. So a lot of experiments are happening for them, which has a lot of added novelty to it. But gradually, as and when the exams progresses, a lot of students, despite there is a ban on analysis, a lot of students still can figure out that what kind of questions are being asked, and they are much prepared for the blows which are in front for them. So that way, probably the data might be favoring those exams which have been conducted in the later half of the examination schedule. Anyways, this is all my prediction, my addition. So let's not contaminate the data any further. Yes, section wise easiest shifts, section wise easiest shifts. So for each subject, read this data horizontally. Okay, read this data horizontally, row wise. So for English comprehension, 17 September 2025 shift 1, 17 September 2025 shift 1, top score is 50. Top score is 50. That means there are students who have scored the perfect score in English in this particular shift. This was the easiest shift as far as English is concerned. And 90% of students have scored below 42.5 marks. That means the final 10% cream has scored above 42.5 marks. That's how you can roughly understand this. Okay. Median score of 32.5. So 50% of students have scored above 32.5 and also 50% students have scored below 32.5. So 32.5 is the exact median score. Average score is 29.7 for this particular shift I am talking about. Look at the difference between the topper and the average score. So that's also a wide gap. Okay. General awareness for 26 September 2025 shift 1, 42.5 is the top score for general awareness in this particular shift and across shifts also. Now this actually is unbelievable. Even when I read it for the first time, I had to confirm it twice, but this is true. 42.5 on 26 September 2025 shift 1. 29 is the score for 90 percentile. Look at the drop. So this is probably 1 or 2 students in the whole lot, they have scored this, but 29, majority of the students or 90% of the students are below the score of 29. Median score of 18.5. So there are majority of the students, 50% of the students are below the score of 18.5 and 18.3 is the average score in general awareness. General intelligence and reasoning, 24 September 2025 shift 2, 50 perfect score here, 50 90 percentile also. That means 90% of the students are below 50, but the top 10% have scored 50 marks in this particular shift. This was pretty easy shift, I believe. Median score is 47.5. That means more than half of the students have attained 47.5 and 45 average score. Cool. And 14th October 2025 shift 2, the quant shift, the easiest, it has been called the easiest shift, 50 perfect score there also. Again median, so 90 percentile score is 50 here, median score is 45 and average score is 42.7. Now what do we learn from here? From here we analyze that English, reasoning and quant, despite all the hurdles, there were students who have scored a perfect score here. But again, this is a general emotion everywhere, that no matter how hard you try, you will never be able to get a perfect score in GK unless obviously luck favors you, and you will see that by the end of the session. Okay, so yeah, this is pretty much it about the easy shifts. Let's look at the most difficult shifts section wise. So this is English comprehension, 12 September 2025 shift 3. 43 is the top scorer in English. So despite being a difficult shift, 43 is a decent score, but look at the 90 percentile, only 30. That means 90% of the students have scored below 30 marks in English, and top 10% only have scored above 30 in this particular shift. Below 30 marks in English, 43 being the highest. Okay, median score is 18.5, right? And average score is 18.7. So that's the kind of drop. Look at the drop here. 90 percentile here is 30 marks and 90 percentile here is 42.5 marks. Can you see the difference? 30 marks and 42.5 marks, 90 percentile. So top 10% is scoring above 42.5 here and top 10% is scoring above 30 there. So that's the gap. There's a major chunk of students there which is in the bracket of 42.5 and 30. But again, this is not going to affect these students because again, everything is on equi-percentile method. So we are going to treat both of them equally. That's the beauty of this method so far. Okay, general awareness, 16 September 2025 shift 3, 40 is the top score in that shift. Again, that's a lot, that's a good score. 90 percentile is 14.5. Look at the drop. Top scorer is 40, but the 90 percentile score is 14.5. That means only 10% students in this shift have scored above 14.5. Now that's alarming. Okay, that is how usually general awareness is. 6.5 is the median score, very low, and average score is 7.1. Reasoning, 23rd September 2025, this is supposedly a difficult shift of reasoning, but again 45 is the highest score, 40 is the 90 percentile score, 35 is the median score, 34.2. So it's fairly okay, but not extremely difficult. Yes, as far as the reasoning numbers are concerned, this is quite less, quite alarming, but otherwise majorly reasoning was found to be very easy. As a section we have already seen that. And quantitative aptitude, 16 September 2025 shift 2, 50 here also. Despite being a difficult shift, some students have attained the perfect score here as well. 41 being the 90 percentile score, 26.5 is the median score, and 25.3 is the average score. Now I will take you through the complete average of all the shifts together in the form of a graph that will give you an even fairer idea of what exactly is happening. So what you can see here is that you can see the graph is constantly hovering in this region. That is not a problem, but it is not constantly maintaining its position. Yes, overall if you see, there is an upward trend overall. If you ignore everything else, if you ignore the outliers, the deviations, you can draw a safe linear regression line here. So that will help you analyze that, okay, this overall is an upward trend only, overall. But if you see, in every few shifts, the score drops dramatically. Look at this. So this was on 15 September shift 2. This is 16 September shift 1. And this is 15 September shift 3. This is a sudden drop here. Okay. then again it is increasing constantly, again certain two instant drops here, one by one. So there are constant drops in between. So I think SSC has aimed to keep the, sometimes it's giving some easy shifts, then pulling it down, then easy shifts, then pulling it down. But this is also not subject to the kind of paper they have set, the kind of questions they have given, but the kind of students, how they have performed overall. How many students have actually faced a problem at a center, how many students actually could not give the examination, how many. So there's the biggest problem being, a lot of students are saying that despite how much you randomize the data, there is still a possibility that a particular shift has more students who are actually improvers means they have already given exams in the past and they are much familiar with the system, so they are bound to score higher despite being a slightly average or a difficult shift. And vice versa, there may be students in a particular shift which are majorly students which are newcomers, they are giving the competitive exam for the first time, they don't have the level of expertise right now and they don't have the level of preparation as well, which tends to decrease the average score despite it being an easy shift. So yes, that is there. We can't consider each little factor and we can't eliminate every little outlier our way, but generally this is the data, this is the trend, how it looks like, and this trend in the end is steeply rising upward. So you can see 14th October steeply rising upward. Now the interesting part, since you have stuck around with me till the end, so I will reveal the interesting part to you. The interesting part is perfect scores. So if you look at it, English comprehension, there were 9 students for the data which what we have out of 82,706 students. 9 students have scored a perfect score, 50 on 50 in English. There were 2 students who have scored a 50 on 50 in general awareness. This was an eye-opener for me also. I wish I would get the chance to meet them. Or probably this was added to maintain standard. I don't know. I have no clue whatsoever. General intelligence and reasoning, 2,418 students have secured a 50 on 50 in GR, that is reasoning. And quantitative aptitude, 2,277 students who have secured a perfect score. You can see the major chunk is concentrated in reasoning and quant. So reasoning and quant overall still has been at par your previous year exams only. There was not a wide variation in pattern observed and hence the students performed as expected. There was a change seen in English comprehension. General awareness always is the same only. And now the most unique thing which has come across, that there are 2 candidates in this whole data set who have secured a perfect 200. Okay, so once again I'll tell you, thank you so much for staying with me till the end, and if you are still watching, please share the session right away with other fellow aspirants as well, so that they can benefit from this in-depth data analysis. And you must be asking yourself or puzzled that where can you find this data? Well, Oliveboard has made it available free of cost for you. So in the description box of this video, you can find out the links to this PDF. You can download it free of cost without any added or hidden things. You can download this and analyze yourself also as to where you can expect your standing to be. A lot of students had asked me in the previous video that please let us know the expected cutoff. Well, I have already made a separate video on the expected cutoff, and that too subject to a lot of conditions apply here and there, but you can get that for a fairer idea if you want. So thank you so much for staying with me till the end. I'll see you around with this wonderful data. If you are new here and you want more such analysis based on data, extremely true analysis, then you need to subscribe to this channel right away. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Namaskar. Jai Hind.